is a tough atmosphere to play in, and I can see why, guys.
Thank you, Brittany. Here we go on this Friday night. It is the Portland Thorns trying to impress those Riveters this evening, taking on the San Diego Waves. And the excessive heat warning will last through the weekend here in Portland. Sophia Smith. Smith against Lundqvist, cuts it through and lifted over by Fleming. Are we going to see the Fleming coming out party tonight? We sure hope so. They made it abundantly clear they had 80 threatening attacks in that game, more than double Chicago. They had the possession and the passing. Ultimately, it proved irrelevant on the night. Here's Smith, leads it through, and the ball chipped wide. That was quite the chance for Janine Beckie.
Electrolytes, a nutritionist to help them out with any sort of heat that they would come by.
Thank you. Ball through for Smith. Smith off the turn. Smith went for goal, knocked down by Sheridan. Doesn't concede a rebound either. And tossed in play. San Diego trying to catch Portland out. And it's the little things. She goes to the grocery store and the aisles are so long and there's so much food. It's just a little different here in the U.S. in very minute ways. This is very quick from Portland into the attacking third. Beckie opens it up. Sinclair! To a kneeling Kaylin Sheridan at the goal line. The Thorns, 5th place. They would not get into the top 4 with a win today, but they'd be 1 point off. That's ultimately a home playoff game come November, that top 4. Top 8 make the postseason this year. Sagita trying to get away from McCaskill. Play on. McCaskill fires high. I can't remember who I
mean,
called
maybe you just didn't call anybody.
Yeah, that's possible.
Maybe you like took a nap or something because it was the whole thing was so exhausting.
I think everyone already knew that I was planning that out for quite some time. I don't think anyone needed the alert that it finally happened. Well, good find, Coffey out to Smith. Smith hangs the cross. The ricochet floats over Beckie, lines it back. Reyes getting in line. Sheridan knocks it down and hangs on. Hogan got the first touch. McNabb was waiting.
Wonderful delivery in. Numbers in the box for San Diego.
Doniak hangs it up. Back post. Morgan tap and go. And now it's been waved off. It is offside.
Really, really good ball in. Talk about making it count.
I'm not so sure about that.
Because it's not on the first, you know, she's offside maybe for a second here, but on this delivery, she's back on again.
If you look at Sauerbrunn, right, in theory, that's your player that keeps. Reina Reyes will pull it back. Ball floated up, Sinclair! Off the mark. Stoppage time. It's presented by Volkswagen. He's gradually shedded the jacket here tonight.
Well, I think that many layers in these temperatures is unhealthy.
I agree. Ball through for Morgan. Morgan from a tight angle. That finds Hogan. Well, Alex Morgan comes firing out of halftime, and notably, look at her left rib. Colaprico. Strung through McCaskill. Sanchez angling across back post off the outside of the netting. Jones arrived. It was a great build-up through Sanchez. A chance to do it again. Colaprico. A little bit of dancing. Smith pressing, got a piece. Dahlkemper, second time. Ball touched outside. Smith. The numbers are good here for the Thorns. Smith angles, fires, and held at the goal line, leaping back, Kaylin Sheridan.
Hogan decides not to go long to Smith there.
Hogan stepping in quite ably, in fact, for Bella Bixby. 6 clean sheets on the year. Right at the top of the league, comes off a 6-save shutout at Utah last week. Meanwhile, the Thorns into the final third. And to Sinclair! Sinclair across Beckie! Wide! It was touched on the way through. It is a corner for Portland. Changes coming here. Listen to what it sounds like when Christine Sinclair steps off in Portland. Ball out to McNabb.
She made the right decisions too last game. It's not just tricks and flicks for this young player.
19 minutes coming off a hip injury that had kept her out months. Sauerbrunn leading down the line. Inside from D'Aquila, now a curling effort gets off frame, and let's go down to Brittany with more on Barcenas.
As a game changer, as they would call them. Jill Ellis used to call them the game changers. So I'll bring that one back. Kimi Ascania, though, very, very skilled player. Gets into good spots. Wise beyond her years on the ball.
Smith against the wise beyond her years, Germa. Smith won it back. And to Sakita. Back towards Smith. Germa cut it off. High now, Reyes! Sheridan. The expectations of this job are substantial. Much is given, much is expected. Sakita ahead. Smith navigating and racing through. Dahlkemper following, and Smith with the angle growing shorter and shorter into Sheridan.
Yeah, I was never trusted to be a pivot holding midfielder, so I miss those drills.
McCaskill, Barcenas brings it down, went for goal. Hogan throws a paw up and knocks it away. That is as good a chance as San Diego has had in the second half. Lines it ahead. Touch got away from McNabb. Sheridan racing back into position. Germa caught some of that. Smith tried to sweep it out to Fleming. Fleming now leading Beckie. Beckie looks up, crosses, there's the goal! The breakthrough! D'Aquila!
Well, we talked about it, patience and precision. Janine Beckie's been at it all night, picks her head up, just a wonderfully clinical cross behind the back line. You see she takes a peek, sees exactly where D'Aquila is, with pace, with bend, keeps it away from Sheridan. And that's the precision that it takes to score at this league. They've just missed that final piece all game, and now they get it from the substitute. In a game like this, the substitutes play a huge part. You have to come in and change the game with energy. D'Aquila changes it, not with just...
Here's the decision. Goal.
Of course, of course.
Nally sprints into the fray. And it is full time. The Portland Thorns go into the summer break with a 1-0 win.